So now we resume our sessions with an engaging presentation by Professor Dr. Sarani Zakaria from the Faculty of Science and Technology of Universiti Kebangsaan, Malaysia. A brief background of Dr. Sarani. She is a leading expert in pulp and paper, advanced materials, and has made significant contribution to the understanding and development of sustainable materials in Malaysia, enlightening us on the advanced material research and development landscape in Malaysia. Join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Sarani on stage.
Thank you, our chairperson. It is a great honor for me to be here. I'm Prof. Sarani Zakaria from National University of Malaysia, Universiti Kebangsaan, Malaysia. So for today, I was told to give a little bit talks on the advanced material research and development landscape in Malaysia. And as we know that hemp is a new species as far as Malaysia is concerned. And throughout my research, we have done a lot on knaf. So knaf, hemp, cannabis is within the same, almost similar as far as is concerned, but the only thing is the cannabinoid content will be different. So most of my research is on the biomass or lignocellulose materials, whereby it involves lots of fibers. So we have done a lot on the oil palm fiber, whether it is from fronds, trunks, or empty fruit bunch. And we work with the rice straw, and we have lots of this particular biomass as far as Malaysia is concerned, although the cultivation area has been reduced, I think. We used to work with the sugarcane bagas, which was cultivated. I mean, they grown a lot in Chuping, but now it has been replaced by knaf plantation as far as knaf is concerned. And with pineapple leaf, which give a lot of good fibrous materials, cultivate a lot in southern part of Malaysia, in Johor especially, and give you a very good strong fiber. And you have lots of wood waste, and we work with sago waste, which is a lot. You can find lots in Sabah and also in Sarawak. And kapok, which is similar to cotton, as far as cotton is concerned. And then you have like wood waste. And the most current research now is on the knaf. We're working together with Lembaga Knaf Tembakau LKTN, Lembaga Knaf Tembakau Negara, which is working a lot on the knaf fiber as far as fiber is concerned, especially the bast fiber, where the core fiber is left unattended. So we try to utilize the core part of this fiber. So talking about the hemp, the nature of hemp fiber is almost similar to knaf. They are almost in the same category. And when you work with lignocellulose or biomass materials or anything which is related to plant, we are talking about the chemical constituent in this particular fibrous materials, which is the major components are cellulose. Cellulose, a very long chain of a glucose unit, the green color, is one of the major components which has been utilized a lot as far as the cellulose industry is concerned, and they are the most abundant as far as raw materials is concerned in the world. And in plant materials, other than cellulose, it also consists of hemicellulose, which is also known as sugar, various types of sugars, depending on from one species to another species. And then another one is lignin, is the a complex molecular structure of what you call is a phenolic derivative. So that's the reason why when all of these fossils materials, which is derived from the old, or what you call is a biomass material, which has been, in this world for more than a million years, has been suppressed underground, and can be converted into petroleums because of petroleum-based materials is, whether you like it or not, consists a lot of phenol and phenolic derivatives. So what we did in as far as research is concerned, I tried to tap all of these particular chemicals constituent for value-added products. So this is the structure of cellulose, whereby look at the hydrophilics. Looking at that, hydrophilics is a OH functionalities, where it is coming from the monomer units of glucose, meaning to say that if you can break the change of this monomer unit, you can have glucose, which is sugar. That's the reason why cattle, animals, and so on and so forth can digest. They have enzyme to digest this particular cellulose and give them energy, because of you have sugar there. In case in the near future, if we haven't got so much of sugar or scarce of sugar, we can even break this particular cellulose into sugar, and you can break this sugar into methane groups, or you can make it into hydrogens and so on and so forth. So this is one of the source as far as biorefinery is concerned, where you can convert lignocellulose materials into biofuels. And cellulose has a very long change, whether it is short, mediums, or the long change. And depending on the structure of cellulose, if it is a certain molecular weight, you can dissolve cellulose. Once you can dissolve it, meaning to say, you can regenerate it back. So I can make a dress like this from wood. I can make a thread fibers from wood by dissolving cellulose and regenerate it to form into threads. So you can do wondrous thing like viscose and so on and so forth. Viscose rayon is from cellulose. And cellulose is not just for that, it is wondrous. I will tell you how wondrous is it, to show that the world of cellulose can cater so much as far as industry is concerned. So cellulose, by right, we call it native cellulose. Any plant vegetables, any plant fibrous materials consist almost high proportion of cellulose, which we known as a cellulose 1, which is a pure cellulose, or we call it as alpha cellulose, and it can be converted into cellulose 2, cellulose 3, or cellulose 4, depending on the crystallinity. The structure is the same, but crystallinity, meaning to say that the properties of this particular cellulose will be different depending on the end use that you want. Okay, for example, cellulose can also derive from bacteria. Have you ever eaten nata de coco? Nata de coco is bacteria cellulose, meaning to say that they grow bacteria in the coconut water, and then the waste from the bacteria is cellulose, and that cellulose we eat, and it is eatable, meaning to say that is only bacteria cellulose. I'm going to mention to you that you have in your life, you eat a lot of wood which has been converted into other cellulose derivatives and so on and so forth. So how do you prepare as far as cellulose fiber is concerned? So our major concern, if let's say we wanted to, if you wanted to utilize this particular fibrous material, is preparation of fiber. For example, look at this one. You have kanaf with a 5 leaf, a hem, and then you have kanaf, and you also have jute. This is almost similar. As far as the bast fiber is concerned, they're almost similar, but the property will be different. So Cik Johan already highlighted on the flowers, okay? So if you wanted to grow the CBD or TH whatsoever, about 0.2% and below. So if you wanted to grow that, the flowers, and meaning to say that the fiber is not suitable for that. So the varieties for hemp, as far as fiber is concerned, should not be the same as the one that you grow for the flowers, because of the one that you grow for the fibers needs a very long stalk, because of you need the bast fiber. And that bast fiber, normally you will harvest it within 3 to 4 months. If it is older than that, it will be much difficult, and the quality of fiber is not good. So it is similar to kanaf, the same thing. So the way the processing is also similar to jute. Jute has been cultivated a lot in as far as India and also Pakistan is concerned. So it is a major business as far as the fibers in India, also in Pakistan, and also in Bangladesh, as far as jute is concerned. But the quality of jute fiber is not as good as knaf and hem. And knaf and hem have been used a lot for automotive, as far as automotive is concerned. So our major problem is that how to change or to process the fiber into a good fibrous material, which is like a baby doll's hair, something like that. If you look at the Barbie dolls, like a Barbie doll's hair, which is very silky and so on and so forth. Can you convert that into that particular fibrous materials? Because of you have to remember that once you have a content of cellulose is very high, and also you have a content of hemicellulose, which consists of sugar. If that particular fiber is not in a very dry state, then bacteria will attack. Fungus will attack. It will eat. Because of it will break the change of cellulose to form into sugar. And meaning to say your fiber is not strong. So for that reason, what you have to do is once you harvest this knaf or hem fiber or jute fiber, you have to process it very fast. That's the reason why they soak it in water. Because one, the moisture content is more than 100%, then the degradation will be much lesser. So maybe you can stop degradation. So they have like a dewing process, like retting process, or you might soak it into in a certain water with a certain enzyme and so on and so forth to get a very good, to remove all of these pectinize and also lots of the outer layer to get a very good, nice long fiber. So what is the difference between knaf and hem fiber? So the hem fiber has a hollow. You see the hollow, the stalk which has a hollow one, but the knaf is all one solid inside. And you have the bast fiber and the core fiber. The bast fiber is the outer layer, which is about 20-25% of the whole stalk. And the core part, which is like a hollow and it is very, very light. So is the middle part. So the long fiber is coming from the bast fiber, which is very, very good fiber. And the short, the middle part, which is the core part, is a short fiber. So short fiber is not good as far as composite materials is concerned, because of one, the fiber is very short. So you have to, in order for you to process it, to make it into long fiber, it will be difficult. But for the bast fiber, you can have like in the middle, so as far as the middle part, the knaf fiber strand, you can form it into the knaf fiber strand. But the core fiber is a short fiber. You can make it into maybe composite material, but it absorbs so much water. So if you wanted to make panel products and so on and so forth, the core fiber is not good because it absorbs so much water and so much liquid. So it will absorb your adhesive and so on and so forth. So for that reason, the core fiber is very good for oil spillage. If let's say you have oil spillage, whatever in the ocean or anything for the cat litters and so on and so forth, the core fiber is good because it can absorb so much of as far as liquid is concerned. And if you want to make it into pulp and paper, the core fiber also not so suitable because the fiber length is about 0.5 millimeter. And the bast fiber is about 1.5. So you have to mix this together because short fiber is not good for paper. You need a certain length, which is not so long and not so short. So this is a common in Bangladesh, where for the jute, they soak it in the river. And if you go to Bangladesh, it's really contaminated, so most of the river. And then, or you can use like you call it the retting process. But retting process, you have two alternatives. Either it is ret or it is rot. So if it is rot, then meaning to say it has been attacked by the bacteria or fungus, so it is not suitable anymore. So retting process, traditional retting process is very, very crucial. Or you can process it as far as mechanical is concerned, and then you can, what you call is further enhance as far as the properties. So you can have various category as far as jute, knaf or hem fiber is concerned, from a certain grade to another grade by bleaching the process, removing all of the unwanted and then get whatever color you want, and then from that you process that particular fiber. So this is example as far as if you observe an electron microscope, one single fiber on your EFB is all palm anti-fruit branch, and comparison with Knaf and hem is almost similar. One strand fiber is just one strand. It is made of individuals, what you call is individual fibers. You call it libriform fibers as far as fibers is concerned. And if you want to make paper, you have to remove one after another as far as this fibrous is concerned. So when I said short fiber, meaning to say that although you have a very long strand, but if you remove individual fiber, you only have a very short fiber, about 0.5 millimeter to 1.5 millimeter. That is the strength, the length as far as individual fiber is concerned. So look at the cellulose cell wall. This is what I mean, because the one which is in a brown color is known as the middle lamella, which consists of high percentage of lignin. So meaning to say, if you wanted to remove one individual fiber, you will have lots of lignin, and that particular lignin can be converted into biopolymer. I will show you later. So this is how you can process. You can process as a long fiber bundles, wood chips, powder, or pulp. It will depend on what is your end used. So if let's say you wanted to make it into composite materials, maybe you need some wood chips, something like that, or powder as far as the filler is concerned in the plastics materials. Or if you want to make paper, you need to have to convert them into pulp, or you want to make into regenerated, like regenerated cellulose to make into fiber, you need to convert them into pulp because of it will dissolve. You need to dissolve that. Or you can make into steam explosion, meaning to say the fiber you explode, and then from that you extract to get cellulose, and this is suitable as far as food product is concerned. You can use it for additive or additional flavor as far as food is concerned. And one good thing about fibrous materials, they have the crystalline area. Okay, that crystalline area, you have amorphous and crystalline area, and most plant cellulose fiber will have about 40%, at least 40%, and tourniquet maybe you can have like 70% of the crystalline area, and the strength of this crystalline area is as strong as a steel. The modulus, I'm talking about the Young modulus, is very, very strong. And we have done in our lab using Knaf, and this is how the crystalline area look like. It's very, very small. That's why we call it nano crystalline. The crystallinity is very strong. You can add this one in any polymer materials and can enhance as far as the strength is concerned, the modulus and also the strength is concerned. And the cellulose crystalline material can be converted into various, what you call is cellulose derivative. For example, you have like sodium bisulfate, and then you have with ammonium hydroxide over there, you can have some ammonium crystallinity of carbamate, and you can have so many. And all of this is very, very important as far as pharmaceuticals is concerned. So you can end up, if let's say you wanted to use the core fiber, you can sell this as part of the your industrial products for the pharmaceuticals and for many other chemicals additive is concerned. So pulp and paper, so you need either chemical or mechanical pulp. If it is chemical pulp, your yield will be much less, 40 to 50% of cellulose, because another 40 to 50% is your lignin, because of the percentage of lignin in wood almost similar as far as cellulose is concerned. Or you can have a mechanical pulp, which is on your the green one, and also towards the end, that one is semi-mechanical, the middle one is a mechanical pulp. So you can make both, either one of this one as the pulp and paper is concerned. But if you want to make regenerated cellulose, you need the chemical pulp, because of mechanical pulp still consists high proportion of lignin. And you can turn it to paperboard, okay, or molded packaging materials. So for molded packaging materials like this, so mechanical pulp will be okay. because of you do not require strength, a certain strength or tensile for that. So so you can use various, right? So let's say if you wanted to do for ham, so use the core part, because the bust part is very expensive, so might as well use something which is much lower quality, because after all this will be recycled or will be dumped away. Or we can make a special PT paper by insert some magnetic materials inside the paper. So we call it magnetic paper, which has been used a lot as far as the sound insulation is concerned. So what's regenerated cellulose? So regenerated cellulose, what we did is that you dissolve cellulose in a certain solvent. What you call is cellulose solvent. And from that you regenerate. So you can form like a cellulose hydrogel, cellulose aerogel, cellulose bead, or cellulose membrane, or you can even make fiber out of it. This is what we did in the lab now. And for the cellulose membrane, if you dry, you can turn it into plastics, clear plastics materials, which is biodegradable. You can print on it. So this is what we did. So by dissolving process, we upscale it using cellulose, pure cellulose. Terbalik dia punya tu. So you just put in the in the reactor with the solvent, and then you dissolve it. So dissolve it, and you have a very thick viscose. And from this one, you can convert into wonders. So you can sell this particular viscose solvent to any of the company, of a converting company, or you can convert them into other materials, advanced materials. For example, you can make plastics. So printable plastics. We add this one together with PVA to make sure that you can print better, and it's also PVA, both also biodegradable. So this plastic is biodegradable, and it can dissolve, degrade it. No, not dissolve, it can degrade it in a soil within three months. Within that, the current plastic will take about 50 years to degrade and become microplastics. But this one is nothing. It's all come back to the soil as a cellulose. So edible as far as not to us, but to the microorganism. So we can even embed it, what you call is magnetic materials inside the membranes, and can be used as far as sound insulation is concerned. And we did with graphene, so it gives you a certain strength. So you can use as a membrane filtration, because graphene is good as far as filtration is concerned. So it's very good as far as the waste, as far as water treatment is concerned, or any liquid treatment. So it has been proven that once you have you embedded graphene inside this particular membrane, it's increased the strength of this particular membrane. So the next one is hydrogel. The core part, you convert into hydrogel, because current hydrogel is made from petroleum base, will never degrade. So when I were in Australia, visited one of the farm, small plot is about, our small plot for paddy field is about one, I think less than 1,200 square meter, is about that one, our plot for paddy. But their plot, per plot is 25 acre as a testing ground. So what they did is, in Australia, especially when it is close to summer, they have a heavy drought. So what they did is they use hydrogel from petroleum base to keep the water in the soil for the first cycle. The second cycle, they have to add a little bit because of the previous hydrogel base. It is not efficient anymore. So keep adding. Towards the end, a lot of plastics remain in the soil. So what they have to do is that they have to remove, and the cost of removing is very, very expensive. But with this one, within 3 months, it's gone. So meaning to say that it is a good opportunity for us if we can supply this hydrogel to the place where they required a material that can store water. Because why? It store water. If let's say you grow vegetables, 1 month is more than enough. Then that's it. And also, if you grow something which is more than 1 month, you keep adding that particular hydrogel. So this hydrogel can store quite certain amount of water, and you can form into aerogel, meaning to say you can keep it in the dry form, and it's grown very, very high, and it can hold up to I think 200%, 2000% of water to that extent. And the shape can go to up to 70 times of its own size, more than that. So it can be used many things, as far as microporous, drug deliveries, and so on and so forth. It depends on what is your end use. So regenerated cellulose, we also did treatment for the wastewater using methylene blue, where methylene blue is used heavily as far as dye for cotton is concerned. So it's good, especially in Kelantan. They have a batik industry, where lots of waste materials has been discharged in water. So it can hold the methylene blue with the aid of graphene oxide and also activated carbon. You can do that. And the core part, we compared kenaf and also opam fiber, meaning to say, if let's say you happen to have hemp, the same thing, the core of the hemp can be used as far as wastewater treatment is concerned. And for this one, we engaged with JICA Japan, with LKTN, together with LKTN. We did one plant in, where is it, Faida? Dekat KSB, dekat Gua Musang. I think we got about 100 million yen as far as the project is concerned, which is about 4 million Malaysian ringgit, to do a wastewater treatment for the all palm effluent. Yeah, it's worked very well as far as kenaf is concerned. So the same thing, as far as hemp is concerned, the core fiber can be used for that. So that's why I said the core fiber is good as far as absorption is concerned. And what we did is we make a phantom oxidation together with limonite, Japan. Because of limonite, Japan, they produce iron ore. So it's good as far as wastewater treatment is concerned. And we managed to reduce the color from A to D. You will notice that. So once it's discharged, it will be much clearer as far as water is concerned. So we did this one, and from this trial, then we go for the upscaling with the KSB. So in textile industry, you can use wood, convert it into textile materials. So viscose, rayon, tensile, lyocell, and so on and so forth is from wood, or from fiber from as far as plant is concerned. So like Linzing, for example, okay, Linzing, which is the mother company is in Austria, which is in Salzburg. It's about 30 minutes from Salzburg. I visited that particular company. This company was a pulp and paper mill using acidic pulping. So what happened is that the cost of paper is so cheap, and the cost of material is getting expensive, because you cannot sell paper at a very high price, because of you wanted to write on it and then people will throw it away. So then you need raw materials, and raw materials is coming from wood, woody materials, fibrous materials. So Linzing has converted the paper mill into fibrous mill. And notice that Austria has no raw material at all. So they import it from Siberia. Wood trunk per ton, which is about 25 euro, around that. The price is about 25 euro. So from that, they convert it into fibrous materials, and then from fibrous material, they dissolve it, and then they form tensile, viocell, lyocell, and so on and so forth. And tensile is one of the fiber which is used for making very good canopies. If you go to Medina, they have payung kan? That one is from tensile, and tensile is very strong fiber. So you can use the same thing with any other fibrous materials, hemp, kenaf, or palm fiber whatsoever. All you need is cellulose. That is the major. So from regenerated cellulose fiber, this is what we did. So from the fiber, we add graphene inside it and we spin it. The white color is without anything, the dark color with graphene. So you can make it a very long fiber. And this is how the fiber look like. So later you can wear a dress which is made from kenaf fiber, which has been spun, or from all palm fiber, from waste wood. Nobody knows. Okay. And this is our project with the Tiangong University. Look at the cottonize in the middle. That one, nobody knows that it is from bamboo. So from bamboo, you form it into cottonize fiber, and you can do the same thing with kenaf fiber or hemp fiber. So what you do is, let's say you turn it into hemp fibers, make it into cottonize. You can mix with cotton, viscose, and hemp. So this is the project that we did. And from that, you turn it into sock or any other dress. Why it is very important using hemp fiber? Because hemp fiber has a very specialties fiber that is, it consists antibacterial without anything. So for example, I have to show it now, which is quite rude. The sock that I'm wearing now, not this one, or in my bag, in my bag there, which is dark in color. If I wear that one for 3 months, I don't have to wash it, and my food does not smell. To show that how good is the antibacterial properties. And although it is very expensive, but it is good as far as military is concerned. So you go for the niche market. Don't sell it to a normal people, because of they buy the cheap one, because they will wash it every day. But go for high end, even for the dress. Go for high end for military use, whereby they go to the for operation or anybody that does not require for them to wash the dress for the next three months, which is still smell okay. So that is how special as far as hemp fiber is concerned. So that's why I said different fiber has different types of properties. So you have to know which niche market you wanted to do. So this one, what we did is in Tiangong University is we're using kenaf fiber and all palm fiber. What we did is we non-woven it with 10% of polypropylene, which is non-biodegradable. And from that, you form into board. So you press it and it glued, and you can make it into flooring like this. Okay, make it into flooring like this, or using in the automotive inside the car, or as a door inside in the side part. So it is homogenized, which is very good. But you need a machine which is called as a non-woven, as far non-woven textile is concerned, or you can make into woven materials. It depends. So the next one is cellulose derivative. You might think it is a very chemical name, cellulose ether and so on and so forth, but you've forgotten you have eaten this without you realize it. If you know about carboxymethyl cellulose, which has been used a lot in ice cream, or even in your cake, in bread and everything, it is from wood, cellulose from wood, and we already consume it. And it tastes good. But if you know that it is from wood, I wouldn't think that you wanted to eat it. But it gives a very good fluffy as far as food is concerned, and give a better taste. So food coding, E466 is CMC. That is the food coding. Nobody knows that it is come from wood. And this is a high quality CMC, which is used for capsule and also for food products. And we consume it every day for this one. Cellulose ester has been used for cellulose acetate market, and even used for the smoker especially. The last part, the white part in your cigarette stock, the white part is cellulose ester. That one, because you can filter whoever smoke here, okay? not ganja lah. They cannot filter ganja for sure. So the next one is cellulose xanthate. Xanthization is like with cellulose xanthate, you can convert into they call it black gold or carbon fiber textile. So it is very strong, and carbon fiber is very light. So for example, like China now, their bullet trains will go 1,000 now, 1,000 kilometers per hour. Ours is still, our ETS is 150. When I went to China, Before COVID, it was 380, which is still stable. Now they go for 1,000 kilometer per hour, whereby the flight goes for 800 kilometer per hour. Why they are using superconductor, whereby the train does not touch the rail. It's floating. It's floating, high magnetic field floating, so they can go very fast. So when it hit, we are out because of the momentum. But the body of the train is made from carbon fiber because it is very light and it is very strong. And if you notice that those who ride bicycle, you can lift up the bicycle with one single fingers. It's very light because the body is made from carbon fiber, to show that how strong is carbon fiber. So this is also gold in market. If you want to go in the cellulose business, turn into black gold. They call it black gold, which is very expensive, more expensive than the yellow gold at the moment. Okay, this is Linzing. So they are big player as far as cellulose is concerned. And the next one, I don't dare for you to try this one, is nitrocellulose. We did this one when we first, I think last 15 years or 20 years ago, when I first joined UKM, I did with nitrocellulose. It's sparkling because of it is, if you wanted to make into firecrackers or gunpowders whatsoever, you can use nitrocellulose. Nitrocellulose is very simple. It's reaction of cellulose with nitric acid. And it has been discovered by accidents, whereby the researcher happened to be spilled the nitric acid on the cotton apron and then left it in the lab. The next day, the whole lab burned. So then they noticed that. Then during the Second World War, when they don't have enough sulfur, this is what they did. They gathered as much as cotton cloth is concerned and converted into gunpowder. So that is to show how wondrous it is. Okay, it has been used for this one. M13 rocket is using nitrocellulose. And bioresin. So what we did is that we imitate as bioresin is concerned. You remember when I said lignocellulose materials consist of lignin. So lignin has lots of phenolic derivative. So what we did is, you see, we convert them into biopolymer. Has a very, we call it as a polyurethane. And this is biodegradable. And this is our project, the next one with Petronas, whereby we wanted to embed hydrogel inside this. And this particular foam can chelate fertilizer. So it can degrade within 6 months, or we can even make it longer, 1 year, so that a big plantation like palm oil plantation and so on and so forth does not require to fertilize their palm tree every 3 months or every 6 months. Just leave it there. After 8 months, then only you keep adding. But currently what they did is they're using palm oil from petroleum base. After 6 months, they have to remove, get this foam and then replace with a new foam because it is not degraded. But now you don't have to replace it. You don't have to remove it, but you just keep adding after 8 months. So this is the project that one of the PhD student is doing. And we hope that everything should be out. So you can make a flexible foam, like you can sleep on it, like put it on the particular coach. But the color is not good because of lignin is dark. When it attracts light from UV and so on and so forth, it becomes darker and darker. So that is the only obstacle out of it. But if you can cover it, nobody knows. And we also make phenolic derivative. One of our previous, it was a 10 years ago project. So we did it on the front and the back coach using this particular resin, and also replaced or substitute as far as phenolic resin in the plywood industry is concerned. But the bad part is that it is hydrophilic. It absorbs like 10% of water, which is not good. But as far as standard is concerned, it is above Malaysian standard. And you can also make pre-packed phenolic resin from PU resin. It's the same thing, like You can coat into the craft paper, or you can coat into glass fiber and so on and so forth to make it into pre-prac. And this is a current project we received from Ministry of Higher Education, which is about 3.5 million between UKM, UPM, and also two projects from UKM, one project from and also one from UKM. So it's called as the smart farming for high value added and quality food production. So basically we wanted to tackle the problems of not sufficient area, especially in the urban area and so on and so forth, as far as growing vegetables is concerned. So so these are the current urban farming is concerned, whether you can have smart wall, roof, vertical, or design technology where you can grow it on the plastics, biodegradable substrate. The blue part towards the end is our products. So that's one is the plastics materials from cellulose hydrogel. So you can even put perlites inside this, which is float, and you can grow vegetables on this particular perlites and hydrogel. And we have done cultivation, which is very good as far as cultivation is concerned, using two types of salad, because salad normally will takes about 1 to 2 months, and which is good because of cellulose hydrogel will degrade. We formulate that it can degrade within 1 to 2 months. So within that, you don't have any waste materials. So this is a picture how hydrogel within 15 days without any fertilizer is grow very well as far as germination is concerned. And this one is our lab. Is it your hand, Atik? I'm not so sure. One of my PhD students. So we grow, I think this is tomato. I'm not so sure. Tomato, and they cultivate in the lab. And then after that you transfer as far as fertigation is concerned and so on and so forth. And it's cultivate very fast. And the rate of cultivation is almost 90%, okay, using this particular hydrogel. And one good thing about this hydrogel is already consists of fertilizer, urea, because we use urea as far as the solvent is concerned. So we are using the hydrogels with UPM. This is project in UPM. Where we use our hydrogel for growing tomatoes and for cucumber, and we use it as embedded as far as fertigation is concerned, and also kale with hydrogel amendment with this hydroponic system. And these are the plants that already being tested. If you wanted to visit this one, you can visit in UPM, because the project we are preparing the media, and UPM is studying on the plant growth. And this is what we plan to do. So with this one, this is all biodegradables. So you can grow the vegetables on the plastics membrane. Towards the end, you just cut and then roll the plastic, throw it away, and it becomes fertilizer, because the plastic consists of fertilizer. So it will degrade within 3 to 4 months. So there's no waste, and it's like a circular economy, which is very good as far as this particular is concerned. And this is the projects in UKM with Ayman and Sitem, whereby we make into what you call is the wound dressing. And the nice clear fiber is from kenaf, the one that we wouldn't woven it from kenaf, and we're using it for wound dressing. And thank you. This is our TRGS grant teams, and this is I would like to acknowledge to all of my PhD and master student, and collaborating university for as far as bioresource is concerned, and all of the grant up to date. I think we received more than fundamental grant, which is more than 12 million. So we hope that we can commercialize this one if they have any other takers. And for that, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Sarani, for such an insightful presentation. I was really enjoying it.